Stuart Wright. I live in Hampshire in the UK, and I work in IT security, and I'm also a part-time musician and write music for films. Well, music's very loud, and I live in a house with a family, and I needed a place to go and write music that wasn't in the house. Everyone's getting fed up of listening to what I was creating, and I needed a space that I could work in and create music in and feel very comfortable in. I looked at a few different companies, and there's a few companies out there, and what I liked about these guys was that they provided an all-in package. So it was going to be everything, all the electrics, all the internet. During the day it's standard office, so I work here and sit on my laptop and go on Teams calls like many other people these days. Evenings and weekends I create music, so it's generally a soundproofed environment, so it's important I've got a really good quality of sound in here. And if I'm recording anything live, I shouldn't be hearing tractors, birds, cars, kids playing in gardens, that kind of thing, and this environment is great for that. I'm so much more productive in here than I was in the house, and it's also that I think the quality of the music that I can produce has risen massively because I've got a space to actually control the sound, which is really important for me. We were lucky that we had a good area at the end of the garden that wasn't really doing anything. Previously it held kids' toys and a little playhouse and stuff, but the kids are all grown up, so I could retrieve that area and use it for adult work. Just had some trees to chop down, and there was a really good area for it. In terms of how to decide on the size of it, really it was built around the music desk and requirements for that. I didn't need a very large environment. It's only 4 meters by 3 meters, but within that I can have a music environment, a sofa, an area for desk and other things. So and it feels fine when you've got 2 or 3 people in here if I'm recording anybody else. Yes, actually I did speak to a previous owner who video called with me to show me what he had, and we were looking at the size of that, and that helped me decide on the sizing, and also looked at some previous soundproofed environments that had doors and windows. Once the door is shut, you still can't hear anything outside, so you can use it as an office as well because there's still light coming in. I know plenty of other people will have more doors and windows, and that's absolutely fine for what they want to do, but as you can see it's quite bright in here anyway with just the door window. Well, it's really straightforward actually, very upfront and honest about what the costs were likely to be. We only had a little bit back and forth in terms of what we could achieve. I was considering getting something slightly larger at the time, so I wasn't really sure, but this fits perfectly in the garden, and is, I'm not sure what I'd do with an extra metre in here really, so I'm very happy with how it went. It mostly went to plan. There were a few little wobbles here and there, but they were resolved really nicely, so it was really well project managed. I didn't really have to do anything. I let the guys in the garden. It's fascinating seeing them put the screws in the ground, and it was all built and ready to go in a couple of days. It really wasn't a long process at all. They were great. They were really good. They came early. They just cracked on. They didn't really want me to interfere or talk to them or make them cups of tea even. They were just quite happy to crack on and get on with it. So any time they had any issue, they would just phone in. They wouldn't knock on the door or anything, which was great. They'd just phone up and say, look, we've got this thing to do. Is it okay if we do it this way? Or if they wanted advice on something within here, they just came and asked. So for example, I needed quite a lot of electrics put in, and they wanted to confirm locations of that and stuff. I need a lot of sockets to run all the gear I've got. So things like that, they would just call me in, point to where it is, and then it was there. I also wanted an outside camera system for security, but I wasn't sure what to get, and I wasn't fast enough, so they ran a cable for me, and all prepped and ready to go in the event I wanted to do that. So all these little extras that make things, really satisfying in the end. I think people would be surprised at how it feels completely cocooned from the garden and the house, and if you need an area which is separate and an area to concentrate in or relax and do something, I think they're really good, and I'd do it again if I was moving house. So, but I highly recommend people do consider you know, the extra soundproofing does cost more money, but I think it's really worth it. I think you might as well do it because it's very hard to retrofit, and also go for air conditioning pack because it costs next to no money to run, and it's just on all day, every day, just maintaining a regular temperature. If anyone who comes around for a barbecue, like, what's in there? Can I go in, please? They come in, and I think this looks like a bit of a TARDIS, really, when they come in and see what you can get done. So, yeah, so I think they're really pleased that I'm also, my wife always knows where I am now, which is handy. So, yeah, if I'm not in the house, I'm probably here doing some work. I definitely recommend garden hideouts to other people.